expert Neill will be explaining more a little bit later in the show.
But first today, when Fiona Stewart O'Neill's son Andrew was diagnosed with a form of autism at 3 years of age, it was at a time when little or was known or even discussed about the condition.
But thanks to her determination to get him the help he needed, Andrew has now gone on to study in college. We tried everything, from Montessori to play school, then on to school. When school going days came, I jumped in at deep end into mainstream, which did fine for the first 2 years, but by first class he was showing serious problems. So I asked for an educational assessment to be done, and they brought in the autism team, and that's where the story began. We're fortunate, it was the right time to be looking for help. The government had given us 2 classrooms over in a mainstream school in Sculwera in Navan, and Andrew got a place there, and it was on a one-to-one basis, using the TEACH program. They're trying to do away with SNAs. Andrew will be the proof of the pudding that you need to be educated, you need your special needs assistant. He would not be where he is today without all those systems in place. And Fiona and her son Andrew join us now. A very good morning to you both. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
I think, Fiona, as well, your story and coming on here today, I think it'll give great hope to other parents watching this morning who have children with autism who are struggling right now, I suppose, to get their children the SNAs that they need, because, you know, they're being cut back all the time these days.
Absolutely. The whole purpose is that I'm hoping that with myself and Andrew coming on, that they can see a future for their children. It can be very bleak when you're in that position. When you have a child, you don't know whether you're going to progress. Is this child going to... It's nearly like a bereavement when you get that diagnosis. But really, for us, it has been an addition to our family. It has changed our lives. And Andrew has done so well. If anybody had asked me at age 8, when he was not speaking, that he would be where he is today, I would never have believed them.
But so it takes a lot of work.
A lot of
determination.
Work. Yes, absolutely. 18 years ago, autism wasn't even a word used in Ireland. It was in infancy. It was in America. It was everywhere bar here. So basically, it was your own struggle the whole time. It was a constant battle. You had to make sure that you were one step ahead for your child's education. So when I was thinking Montessori, I was working on primary, and then when I was halfway through primary school, I was working on a secondary level. And Andrew was fortunate in that with the resources and with a full-time SNA in primary and in secondary, he just blossomed. He had started in mainstream school, and by first class he struggled. So I had asked for an educational assessment, and lucky at that time there was an autism team in County Meath. The government had sanctioned 2 classrooms in a mainstream school, and Andrew was lucky to get a place there.
And what's the diagnosis? Is it, Andrew's you're on the mild end, is it Asperger's, is that?
Yes, Asperger's syndrome.
And describe how, the challenges that you faced with it growing up.
Well, the challenges I faced when I found out that I had Asperger's syndrome was that interacting socially, and that I felt like I was displaying some sort of a restrictive behavior, like. But for how I turned that, I made that disability is that I made it not into a bad thing, but into a good thing. I twisted it around, like I saw it as a good thing, because it's really more of a IQ enhancer on the particular subjects that I'm stronger in, like history and computers.
You're studying history and politics.
Yes.
In college at the moment.
And you hope to be a historian, is it?
Yes. Hopefully, I would be a historian, like, because I like the subject.
Okay, but you use the words, Fiona, lucky
Yeah.
and fortunate, and really when we read Andrew's story,
Yes.
that they were the two words that jumped out at us as well, because it was a fortunate time. Because if you were getting that diagnosis now, even though more is known about autism, those SNAs are less
No.
available.
Absolutely, and I can't emphasize enough what having an SNA at a second level and a PA at third level has made for Andrew. So many of my friends are losing their SNAs. Every time I go to a support meeting, there's another SNA gone. And like, where are these children going to go? They're going to fall between the stools. I mean, it is going to cost an absolute fortune for the government, because where are they going to be educated? They have a right to be educated.
Of course.
And these children are so clever and are well able to be educated. Andrew has shown that. All you need is the right education placement.
Okay, but the placement is quite apt as well, because we have different parts of Ireland where different systems are in place, and like even in Dublin City, in our capital city, there's a Rolls Royce policy in some postcodes, and in other areas there's just the
There's
services
nothing.
are non-existent.
Absolutely, and in our case, we set up our school ourselves in Drogheda. Abacus is the name of our school, and there was nothing. We had no government funding. We've ran the school for 10 years, from 2003, solely on fundraising and any way possible. Actually, I met you a couple of years ago at the Valentine's Ball. Yourself and Lorraine were down at our ball. That was a huge fundraiser.
I was in Dundalk.
In the City North.
Sorry,
City North.
sorry, in the D Hotel. Yeah.
But the like the Drogheda people have, and the companies in Drogheda, Coca-Cola, banks and everything, have brought us through that transition. Now the government now have given us capitation grants, so we are now run by the Department of Education. But you know, every time you move on to the next stage, it's always been a struggle. It's always a fight.
Except you were saying at third level, Andrew was in college now, you have a personal assistant, and you were saying at third level there's loads of support.
Absolutely. Yes. I can't get over how much and the liaison between myself and the disability officer in third level and what they're willing to provide.
And Andrew, what do they provide for you in college? What do they do for you every day?
Well, at the college, like, they provided me with a tutor who helps me out, like, in my assignments and making sure and helping out any mistakes I've made, and making sure that my assignments are correct
and meeting the deadlines, which is
Yes.
every student's
Yes.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Trying to get those deadlines.
Absolutely, to meet the deadlines and to make sure that he's on top of things. Andrew is extremely efficient, so he doesn't need as much of a help, but that's all down to what he has previously got.
Yeah.
After second level, he also, on the recommendation of his teachers, he did a PLC course in Drogheda Institute of Further Education. They were amazing. That was the best stepping stone. He had a fantastic SNA, Terry Kettle, and the principal welcomed us with open arms. And I felt for the first time in my life it wasn't the battle that had been previously in second level and
because many people watching us today who have a child with an ASD, they know that there's services up to the age of 18.
It's right.
You're here letting us know that if children with autism want to go on and do college, what's there is better.
Is absolutely better, and I just felt, or I can only speak from a personal experience, that Dundalk Institute have been wonderful, and they have several children or adults. Sorry, Andrew, with Asperger's. I keep saying to him,
What time are you going to school at? He corrects me all the time. I'm in college now, but
You
yeah.
get contacted, don't you, by parents all the time? Your ear is red,
Yes.
you say, because everybody has so many questions. Because you've kind of come out the other side, you know.
Absolutely, and I love to be able to help anybody and advise anybody and give them hope. I think the worst thing is that it's a very negative thing when you have a diagnosis with a child with a disability, and you like to help somebody realize that this is not the end of the world. This is actually, not a bad thing at all, and that you can cope with it. It's all about fighting for your child, getting to know your child, and know the mother knows the best, and they know what's right for their child.
What's really helped you as well, Andrew, because children with autism, and adults too, they have a problem with social interaction. So you got involved in some of the societies in DLT as well.
Oh yes, I did.
Which societies?
The society I'm currently in, one of the clubs is called the Airsoft Society. People ask me, what is that? What is that? Well, as I explained when I mentioned the word replica firearms, they just go, oh, mother of God. But I explained to them, and it says, all right, and the members there, those who are currently and new, they're friendly, more.
And you've also got a youth club that you attended in Drogheda.
Oh yes, in Drogheda we do have a youth club, and it brought other people and other youngsters of my age who have the same disability similar to mine, and when it brought us together, it had us to share our own ideas. What are we good at, and we'll choose what to do in day-to-day activities.
Well, yesterday, as we all know, was World Autism Day, and I think there are changes coming down the tracks within the Irish system. Anyway, a national strategy on autism has been talked about. I think the Minister for Health, James Riley, has accepted that we need to have a national strategy, and he himself has a child who has autism. So
absolutely, who has gone on and graduated in genetics.
Queens and things like that.
Absolutely stunning stuff, and this just shows you what can be done with a child with a proper education. We are absolutely delighted that we're seeing some movement. This is long. We are waiting for this for a very long time. There is a lot more children. There is 600 children, more than 600 children born with autism every year in Ireland. So what's going to happen to these children? We need to make provision. The government need to wake up and get it sorted. Don't take the provisions away, provide more, and then we won't have the problem at the end. And they'll be all going to college and they'll be all geniuses.
Okay. On that note, many thanks for coming on this morning, and best of luck, Andrew, with your degree.